And one thing I want to point out, Rob, I thought possibly one of the craziest scenes of this entire episode, and maybe of the show, was Obi-Wan finding the tomb of Jedi. Finding almost
good.
like
I almost forgot about that.
Finding the tomb / trophy room of Jedi in the Inquisitor's fortress, and kind of seeing his friends. I was looking, you know me. I was looking. I was like, oh god,
who they were.
I was like, who's there? Who's there? I think the hardest part was like seeing the youngling, seeing the kid in this kind of orange amber.
My question: orange amber, right? With orange amber, and we also saw in Carbonite, people are encapsulated in there, and they're still alive. Do we think these people may be alive? Because if it's alive, like, hear me out. Let's say that they're alive.
Yeah.
And then after the sequel trilogy, these are pretty much just people encapsulated in there. Hundreds of Jedis, we don't even know how many that weren't cut in half. And somehow there was a way to reverse it and they get out. That might be additional reinforcements to this Force Star Wars boom that we're definitely going to get. Because it felt like that towards the end of the sequel trilogy, that like the Force is going to come out in mass, and it might be another age of the Old Republic where there's more Jedi, more Sith, stuff like that. Maybe these people are able to like become undone in amber and like alive again and add to that kind of stuff.
I like the optimism and the hope. That's very Star Wars of you.
Yeah.
But absolutely not. I don't think these people are alive. I think if you have them somehow be able to come back, it dilutes completely what the Empire is all about. It dilutes the Empire, it dilutes Vader, it dilutes the Emperor in the form of just these over-controlling, no hope-based. And it also dilutes the story of Luke Skywalker too, I think, because it ends up with, we have these in the future. It's like a fail-safe, right? It's like a backup mechanism. Sure. I think it dilutes the whole thing, and I think it takes away the other point, which may be the amber isn't so much to show you, hey, like, we got them, they're here. It's to preserve them. And I think that more and so is a tell for cloning, which we know
the Jurassic Park angle, things, the mosquito and amber taking them and making people.
So that takes more into line of what we see with the Emperor in the future. As you were saying, the sequel trilogy has a lot of the Emperor and cloning facilities and all that stuff. We've seen a lot of that in Mandalorian as well.
Yeah.
And guys, if you've seen the new Jedi Fallen Order sequel, Jedi Survivor trailer, there seems to be some type of Bacta tank clone in there in that little teaser trailer. So I think all of those things might be connected, but I think that is very trophy room, very like, look who we killed. If we need to use to suck out like whatever blood DNA, we can do that as well. But as we see in the main Inquisitors area, lightsabers, helmets galore. I just think it's kind of like the secret trophy room, which is very, very creepy.
So the Star Wars, the villains as a whole, it's like they've been clones and then they were stormtroopers or different people. That'd be really cool if it's like the next foot soldiers or a bunch of like Force Inquisitors. They clone one person or multiple people, have this DNA, infuse them with them, and instead of just shooting every time, it's with lasers and guns, and he kind of like upgrades them, and they're all like that because of all this stuff that they have. I think that's kind of what they're working towards. Instead of droids that are Force sensitive, like we saw with the Death Troopers in Mandalorian, maybe they're just like straight up Sith or like Sith acolytes everywhere. I'm just too hopeful for a resurgence of the old ways where there's a lot of Sith and a lot of Jedi in a different manner. We don't know. I don't really know Star Wars' long plan, but I'm hopeful.
I think we're going to get that more so in the back stuff, where the Acolyte show, as far as we know, which isn't much, it's like 100 years-ish before Episode 1.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumor that that's going to tie in with the Old Republic, which obviously we, from PlayStation and a bunch of other stuff, is getting a big remake. They're pushing Old Republic. We know the High Republic is out there with books and comics. All that stuff is combining. That's the age of 1,000 Jedi and 1,000 Sith, and not 1,000 Sith, but a lot of dark Force wielders. So I think that, and we see the Republic at its height in Episode 1 through 3. I think the point of the Empire is that abrupt change, that aggressively abrupt change, which makes Vader and the Emperor and Luke so important. So I think we're going to get those things, Rob, but I think it's going to be back in time, not forward.